You're welcome. Let's get through the details of those stories now. Some persons suspected to be Ghanaian traders locked up more than 20 shops owned by Nigerian traders at Opera Square in the central business district of Accra. I will show you some photos of what actually happened there. Well, the shutdowns come just a day after some leaders of the Ghana Union of Traders were arrested by the CID for issuing threats to evict Nigerian traders from the country's retail space. Last week, their counterparts in Kumasi were faced with a similar situation. The impasse between Ghanaian and Nigerian traders seem to be moving to Accra. In the latest incident, as we've just told you, the police was called in to restore order. We can speak to Beryl Richter, who is at Opera Square, where the incident happened. Hello, Beryl. All right, we'll get through to Beryl momentarily, and then we'll get to know what exactly happened today. But those visuals are coming from the Opera Square. As you can see, we have what looks like some people locking up some shops there. What we know is that the police was called in and they broke those padlocks. Let's get on the line now. Beryl is joining us right now. Hello, Beryl.
Hello, GC.
Beryl, what can you report from the Opera Square? What exactly did you see?
Okay, when I got here, there was tension. You could see some of the Nigerians, they were afraid to even speak, to even open up about the situation. And I saw padlocks on their shops. And even the Ghanaians here, they were not willing to speak. A few minutes later, the police arrived and they reopened the shop for the Nigerians. So currently there is calm here, but my interaction with some of the Nigerians, they tell me they are scared for their lives because they don't know what will happen.
Did you speak to the Ghanaians who are alleged to have done this, and what did they say?
They are not willing to speak. I approached them. They said they don't want to comment, but all they can say is that the government is not protecting them. That's what they are claiming, that the government is not protecting them from foreigners.
Did you get to speak to the police, Beryl, and what did they say?
Yes, I spoke to DCOP Feud. He's the Deputy Regional Commander at Accra Central Police Station. He led the operation here. He says his men got the information around 11 from BNI, head office, that there's tension here. So they immediately rushed here, opening the shops for the Nigerians. And he is cautioning Ghanaians not to take the law into their own hands. He also says they will intensify patrols here because they have to maintain law and order and also protect lives and property.
And do we know, and very soon we'll be talking to the Ghana Union of Traders Association as well to find out if they know of these persons who are supposed to, or supposedly their members, to find out exactly what they know. But did the police indicate whether or not any arrests have been made?
No, please. The police hasn't indicated that so far. But my interaction with some of the Nigerians, they claim, they are alleging that some of the Guta members came here. That's what they are alleging. But when I spoke to some of the Ghanaians, they wouldn't want to disclose who and who came here.
Is anything else that you can report? Let us know. If not, we'll move on from there. What else can you report?
As I mentioned earlier on, there is calm here now, but the Nigerians here are saying they fear for their lives because they don't know if these people will come back to attack them. One of the Nigerians I just finished speaking to, he said in the process of locking the shop, they called one of the two, and I think they
could you say that again, Beryl? I lost you briefly. Say that again.
I'm saying one of the Nigerians I just spoke to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Beryl, you may have to reposition yourself because there's a terrible feedback in the line at the moment. Let's try this one more time. You said you just spoke to a Nigerian. What does he say? It looks like we'll have to let Beryl go, but we will raise her back on the line if we need to. Like I said, we'll be also talking to the Ghana Union of Traders Association to find out their perspective of this. We're told that yesterday there was an invitation to assist the police in some investigation that was ongoing. We'd like to know whether or not that has anything to do with what is said to have happened in Opera Square today. But in the studio with me is Chief Chukwemeka Naji. He's president of the Ghana president of the Nigerian Union of Traders Association, who's here in the studio with me. Chief, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I also have with me here Comrade Evaristus Nwanko. He's Secretary General for the Nigerian Union of Traders Association. Let's get quickly back Beryl to wrap up that report she was giving us. Hello, Beryl.
Yeah, hello.
You said you spoke to a Nigerian. What did he say?
Yes, I'm saying the Nigerian I spoke to, he mentioned that in the morning when they had 14 years to lock the shop, he's saying some of his items are missing, and also they tampered with some of the things in the shop. So he's saying that some of the items are stolen in it.
But so far, yes, go ahead, Beryl.
So far, nobody got injured as a result. Nobody got injured.
Okay, and no.
The Ghanaians are telling me they will still continue to look at top. That's what they that will be able to. Their police is not supporting them, so they will also do what they have to do.
Beryl, thank you very much for that update. Beryl and Estina Richter, they're joining us from Opera Square. Let's get in the studio and have this conversation. I don't know which of you is best placed to tell us exactly what happened from your perspective at Opera Square today, but any of you who knows what happened can share with us exactly what happened.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Gifty. Thank you, Ghanaians. All of us were involved in the case and the situation of today. And you will be talking whatever experiences we had. So the Secretary General was on ground. He also visited the police station to make an official complaint, which we are following up actually.
Okay, before you made the complaint, we want to know what happened. Our reporter says that when she got there, she was told by some of the Nigerians that she spoke to that their shops were closed by some Ghanaians there. What do you know regarding what happened before you even had to go to the police?
Yes, since after their press conference, there have been speculation that they will come and attack the Nigerians. The first day, they give them order to close their shops. And we wrote official petition to police. Actually, we complained. And yesterday, they were also having a meeting, and after their meeting again, they start again threatening the people to close their shops. Nobody closed. So this morning, when they came this morning, they realized that they have organized their hoodlums using padlocks to lock the shops. We call our people not to resist any of the action because that may escalate. And peacefully, I can say, nobody resisted. So they went down and locked those shops. They were locking every shop. They are not asking any question.
How many shops do you envisage they locked?
We are reporting 40, 30. Nobody, we haven't counted.
Okay, so what we know from the grounds is about 20 of those were locked up. But do you think that there could be more?
Yeah, the number really is not anything to go because everybody's shop is being locked. All the Nigerians, their shops are locked. Nobody is being spared for any reason.
Okay, let me also just quickly announce that we have the GUTA president, Dr. Joseph Obeng, on the line. Hi, Doc.
Hello, sir.
Right, thank you very much. Do hang on for me. I have two of the leaders of the Nigerian Union of Traders Association, NUTAG, here in the studio. We're talking about what happened in Opera Square today. I've just heard his side of the report. He says that after what happened, after the press conference by GUTA, there was a subsequent meeting. And after that meeting, some of your members in Opera Square came threatening a lot of them in the market, saying they should close their shops. They actually been warning them to close their shops, and they didn't. Today they went there, realized that the shops were opened, and they forcibly locked up these shops. He says they told their members not to resist, so peacefully their members looked on and they locked up their shops. What's your report from where you sit?
Yeah, so that's the report they've given to you. Mm-hmm. I'm yet to be informed by that sector, what happened. So I must say I'm not well informed on that.
Very well. Hang on. Let's continue with the discussion. So again, okay. So they locked up the shops.
Yeah.
You proceeded to the police to make a report.
Yeah, I just follow up report now, calling on them to come to protect the traders.
So the police came in?
Yes.
They came in and they opened the shops for
yes.
the so are they working now?
Yeah, the shops are open now.
The shops are opened. Is the police, is there police presence there at the moment?
Still, yes.
There's still police presence?
Because the people are still agitating that they will still continue and they are not going to give up.
Okay. And we can confirm this, Doc, what he says about the people who are threatening them, still saying that whether or not the police comes to open, whether or not the police will protect them, they will still continue to haunt them. Our reporter spoke to a few of them right now. She just reported that they said the same thing. What is happening?
If the police is on their side, police is working perfectly for them. So why they complain? Because the police is there to make up the law. You understand? We don't have anything personal with Nigerians. I've said this so many times. The protocol that we have all signed should be respected and live within the tenets of the protocol. Anybody who wants to bypass the protocol and to establish in the country should do the right things.
All right, so Doc, just a quick one, Doc. That is a substantive matter which I want us to come to. But I want us to deal with, you know, what has happened on the periphery, and this is one of them. It's like a byproduct of the outstanding issue of the ECOWAS protocol. The byproducts we're dealing with here is what is happening in Opera Square, which is similar to what happened in Kumasi. Which everybody has condemned. It looks.
Let me help you.
Please go ahead.
The Nigerian government, just a couple of days, came up and repatriated 4 Ghanaians. The reason for the repatriation is that they have had infractions on their local immigration laws. We have not been applying our immigration laws. The task force that was formed some time ago to make sure whether the allegation that Guta was making was true or not was set up. The police included, immigration officers included, and they went to Kumasi and found out that about 400 of these Nigerians are not obeying or applying the laws of the country. And that we have the report from Ghana Standard Board, from the taxes, the duty, non-payment of duties, they're not having residence work permits and all that.
Okay.
As against the ECOWAS protocol of 90 days and all that.
Okay.
So the police, we deem it as our evidence to the police to ensure that the right thing is done to these recalcitrant ones. In fact, in that market, we saw some Nigerians, about 2 or 3 of them, who had a GRTC certificate and who, by the documentation submitted, were left out of the hook. And this is what we are talking about.
Okay.
It's not that we are targeting anybody. Anybody who has done the right thing is doing their work.
Okay, but the only, except that, Doc, except that the problem is that it looks like some of your members seem to be taking the law in their own hands if the reports we're getting is anything to go by. And that is the worrying situation now.
Who is taking what law into his hands?
Those who are not everybody, even if the people are not assuming. Let me just land with this question. Assuming without admitting that the people who went to the shops that were locked today are owned by Nigerians who do not have the requisite documentation, are owned by Nigerians who are not doing the right thing, who are on the wrong side of the law. It does not lie in the hands of the people who went there to lock up the shops to do so.
If somebody come and make a story very beautiful for you to even tend, even to be on their favor, then that's the problem. Because these people know how to talk. The police is on their side. Ghana is using its laws. And we are also telling the Ghana government, the authorities, to use the same law that they are using to protect these foreigners, also to use those laws. And so what we are saying, we are targeting the state institutions. We are not targeting individuals like those gentlemen at your studio. We are not fighting.
Exactly. Exactly. You are not fighting, but some of your members on the ground are locking up shops that belong to Nigerians, and that is wrong.
I say they have come and make up their story. The police is on the ground.
Okay, you don't believe this story?
No, it's not believing or not believing. I was so come, the Swami magazine people were pressing on the government that we have a constitution that is enshrined in that constitution is that if laws that is enshrined in the constitution is not being obeyed, the citizens have every right to make sure that the laws work.
But the citizens, Doc, we need to make, yes, Doc, I get your point. I get your point. We just have to, I just want to make this clarification that yes, citizens have the right to make sure that the laws of their country work. They have their responsibility actually to make sure that the laws of the country work, but they do not have the right to trample on other people's rights. That's just a fundamental. That's just a fundamental fact we need to lay right. Okay, so the conversation that has gone on. Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc. Can you hear me? Hold on, Doc. I'm allowing you to flow. I just want us to get the conversation in the right perspective so that everybody will understand and follow. The point I'm making is that I just needed to make that clarification so that people don't take it wrongly. That even though people may be doing the wrong things, it's your responsibility as a Ghanaian to make sure that the law is applied. But you don't do that by taking the law in your own hands. That's just a point I need to clarify for every viewer who's watching us.
This thing is coming spontaneously. As a matter of fact, when this issue came, I was out of the country. You bear me witness that you tried to reach me. I was nowhere. So it's not that somebody is even pushing somebody. It's something that has come this far that if care is not taken, and we all sit down, even ECOWAS commission come in to draw the confines of the ECOWAS protocol. ECOWAS is just being there. ECOWAS commission should come and we all, the stakeholders, sit down and for them to even draw the confines. The Nigerian government knew the confines of the ECOWAS protocol, and yet that's the reason why he knows that he can repatriate the 4 Ghanaians because they have infractions on their local laws. There are 2 things. There are 2 separate things. If you go beyond the confines of the ECOWAS protocol, then the law. And we are not even saying that we don't welcome Nigerians. We don't welcome our brothers. They know. Before they came here, we were doing business with them. They bring the goods for us, we sell, and all that. We are like brothers.
Okay.
So nobody is even personalizing this. Whatever we are doing, Ghanaians are doing, we are just pursuing this on the authorities, the Ghana government, that there's a law for you to enforce, and that's all that we are doing.
Okay.
So we have been so civil in our demand that for 20 years we haven't killed a fly. So other people, when it suited them, they killed Chinese in their countries. Other people like South Africa and all that see the xenophobia. Ghanaians, we are very civil in advance, and we have been civil. They should respect that.
Very well. Let me throw the issues.
We are still friends. We converse. We are very good friends.
Right.
They will confirm that.
Right. Doc, let me just bring them in. Let me just bring them in and bring the concerns that you have raised to their attention, so I get them to respond. General Secretary, Secretary General. Not at all. We're not doing a banter. We just want to get the facts as it is. Secretary General, I just want to find out from you, to what extent are we sure that the people who are operating in this area, now first of all, you know that according to the laws, retail business is not meant for non-Ghanaians. Retail business is not meant for foreigners. It is reserved for Ghanaians. There are still Nigerians, like you said, there are still Nigerians who are operating in the retail business in these markets, and that is part of the problem.
Thank you, Gifty. Thank you to viewers. First and foremost, there is all this issue of foreigners and foreigners. We keep on going there back and front. Every day I come here, I keep on making this assertion that Ghana is a sovereign nation, and Ghana has every right to determine whatever they want as a sovereign nation. and Ghana signed the ECOWAS protocol, which I don't know why they pick and choose in this protocol. They say 90 days. 90 days is just the beginning of when they were starting the protocol. They say you can enter in the country 90 days and stay 90 days. After that 90 days, if you still want to stay, you can go to immigration, extend your stay, or you go for resident permit. And now, if this thing, and then we have moved ahead. Now the protocol also gives every other citizens of ECOWAS to go into another nation of ECOWAS and establish your business. And they say that you will start down your business registration and everything according to the same condition that is given to the nationals of that nation that you are.
Yes, but the laws, hold on, but the laws of our constitution here in Ghana is supreme. It reigns supreme over everything else.
No, Gifty, I'm not a lawyer. But I know that...
No, that's the fact.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer. But I know that if you go and sign an international treaty, you can't come and say your law, because before you sign, you must know what your law says. And then you amend that law to conform with the international treaty you are signing. So that is even last year you hosted me here.
I know.
Last year, you know what Mohammed Ayariga said on this issue. Even right now, so many Ghanaian lawyers are commenting on this.
So the point you're making, if I understand you, hold on, the point you're making, if I understand you clearly, is that you believe that Nigerians, foreigners who fall within the ECOWAS community have same rights as Ghanaians do when it comes to business.
But you have to go to the Registrar General and register your business.
But hold on, what do you say of our local laws that say you cannot trade in retail business if you are not a Ghanaian?
That is the bone of contention, Gifty. What we are saying is that, of course, this thing we've discussed even with the government through the Minister of Trade. We have made it clear. If the government come tomorrow and say, well, as for the ECOWAS protocol, we will not respect this aspect. We must uphold our law. It is incumbent on the government to lock our shops and ask us to go. Not an individual taking the law into his hand, attacking people. We were lucky that here they didn't machete people. They macheted that.
We don't have any reports of. We don't have any reports of that. We'd have the reports of the shops that have been closed.
Now, even closing that shop under normal circumstance, Gifty, you know that locking somebody's shop for 2, 3, 4 hours, you have made that person to have some economic loss.
Okay, so back to the law. Let me just come back to you, Doc. Dr. Bain, are you there?
I've heard what he's saying.
Very well. I just want to find out and help us. Maybe I'm not getting the law clearly. From what he says, really the discussion, the issue here should be with the government and how it is rectifying the ECOWAS treaty vis-a-vis the local laws that we have. I know that there have been several engagements on this. You have been at the forefront of this as well. Can you give us an update on where that conversation is right now?
Yeah, the ECOWAS protocol in itself is on 3 foots. The first one that they've all ratified is the free movement of goods and services, with the caveat of the 90 days. Okay. He said that there have been revisions. I'll come to that. And for the area of residency, the residency will then ensure that all of us can live within freely, like they are doing now, without any hindrances and all that. That residency has never been ratified. They are all afraid. Cote d'Ivoire is afraid to ratify it because they don't want any other country to move en bloc to their countries. And so that is in contention. So why with ECOWAS, if they want to come and stay here freely and all that, why don't they push ECOWAS to let its member states ratify it? In any case, ECOWAS itself is a sham. It's not working.
No, so hang on.
ECOWAS is not working.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, please allow me. If they are talking, I don't talk. So and they are two.
No, I need to understand you. So when I come in is when I don't understand and I want to get clarification on what you say. So exactly. So that's what I'm doing. So what I need to understand is that you said about the 90 days. You said it is different. Is it different from the free movement of people among the countries in the ECOWAS?
No. the 90 days is, you know, when you bring a car from Togo,
yeah,
and then it's registered, maybe somebody who didn't want to pay or it's a Nigerian who is coming from Nigeria, so the car is registered Nigerian. The car is allowed to stay in Ghana for how many days? 90 days.
90 days.
And then the 90 days, the car will have to leave the shores of Ghana immediately. Otherwise, if it overstay one day, the laws of this country, then it's not recognized the free movement again. The laws of this country will apply the duty that you have to pay for the car, the registration that you have to you do, so that now you are fused up as a car in this country. That's what that ECOWAS protocol is, and nothing else. This explanation that I've given you, otherwise, all the cars that come here, because it's free movement, they will all stay here. Because they will say that they pay duty there and they are bringing it here. That's ECOWAS protocol. Aside that, if you want to establish, those things have not been established. Establishment haven't been come there. Let me tell you, they even revised that we do economic trade liberalization scheme, ETLS, that all of us should trade together, and that we can send all our manufactured goods to Nigeria. Nigeria also sent all their manufactured goods here. You know what happened? Nigeria shortlisted 41 items as all the manufacturers. And then, bully this way, we can't subject ourselves as puppets for Nigeria to use us. It won't happen. In any case, this gentleman there, they took this issue to ECOWAS court and they lost. The evidence is there. Go to the ministry.
He says that's not true. He says they did not lose.
Go ask the Minister of Trade. Ask the Minister of Trade. Ask the Minister of Foreign Affairs. They went and they came and they
that's the point.
You are a news person. Go back to your archives.
So hang on.
People know how to talk.
Hang on,
so when they come and then bamboozle Ghanaians with their thoughts and all that, we have to be very careful.
Okay, very well, Doc. What we need to do.
One thing about ECOWAS.
Okay, so what we need to do is to lay out the facts as it is, and then have that conversation. So what you mentioned, I just got a response from them. They said they petitioned. So the point that he's making, Dr. Bain is making, is that you went to ECOWAS. He did not say you sued them. He says you went to the ECOWAS court. Did you go to the ECOWAS court with a petition even?
Thank you, Gifty. We have not taken anybody to ECOWAS court. What we did was to petition ECOWAS when Ghanaian traders was terrorizing us. And we met Madam Kroma, which is the vice president of ECOWAS. The president have traveled to UN meeting, and incidentally there is our president, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, and also Ghanaian President, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, were in New York. And Madam Krona told us that he's going to put a call through. She's not going to give us a reply. But definitely, the president of ECOWAS will meet these two presidents there, and they're going to discuss it. And which happened. We get a response that our president and His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo have a meeting there. And finally, we had a response here that when the Minister of Trade issued a press release that ordered that the shops of Nigeria that were closed should be open within 48 hours or something, whatever. Now, that is what happened. I feel very sad in my heart.
So you did not take a case to the ECOWAS and lose?
No, we have never taken to court. We went to the headquarters of ECOWAS to petition. And we do that through our mother National Association of Nigeria Traders. What he is saying, I don't know who took the people to court and lose. And another thing I want you to put straight here is that I'm it is very unfortunate that Dr. Ben releasing a lot of untruth words on this media.
So here is how,
very unfortunate.
So hold on.
A man of that caliber.
So hold on. He says something, you think that what he said is not true, just point out directly to what he said, which you think is not true. He's still on the line.
All right. First of all, he should confirm that our shops are being closed. Secondly, they are using hoodlums. They don't use...
When you say they're using hoodlums, what exactly do you mean?
Are those those who have criminal.
We don't have any. We don't have any evidence. If you need to hold on, if you need to make that allegation, you need to provide evidence on that.
It's not.
So hold on. We need to be very careful because there are people who take on some of these cases. They go to courts and they will not just sue the person who said it. They will sue the media house. We need to be very careful. The point that I'm making here is, if you say they are using criminals, you need to back it with evidence. So if you don't have the evidence that the people who came to lock your shops are criminals, you would need to retract that.
Thank you. Then those who came to close our shops.
I need you to retract that statement.
It's not retract. I'm just clarifying
okay.
it. Those who came to Swami to close the shops of Nigerian traders, you don't have shop there. And I know one guy who he has a tattoo here. It's fair in color. We don't know his name. But they have shown a gun to my son and told him he would kill him. Someone
showed a gun to your son?
Yes.
And told them, did you report to the police?
We did.
Okay.
I went to the commander of Swami police station and I reported that case.
Very well. So let's deal with the issues here. Otherwise, you know, there's a lot of issues that are connected. What I still need you to do, by the way, is I need you to retract the statement that the people who, that Guta is using criminals.
No, that is what the choice words I wanted to use.
No. But you can't use it on this platform. This is a platform. No, this is a platform that, and there is somebody who is moderating this conversation, and I need to have you retract that statement.
I'm retracting it because Madam Gift told me to do so by force. I'm doing it under duress.
No problem if you say you're doing it under duress, but that is the right thing to do. If you don't have evidence, you can't
I have evidence.
No, but you need to show us that evidence. If you have that evidence...
shows.
No. If you have the evidence and you bring it here...
Let's go.
So hold on. This is my show.
Thank you.
If you come to the show, you have allegations. You make the allegations, you need to back it with evidence, so that when we have to go to court, we also go with that evidence, and we say, you said this, you showed this, and this is it. Okay, so Doc, I'm coming back to you on this. There's still a lot of interconnected issues that makes this really complicated. But we cannot live like this as two countries. We need to move on, and we really need to move on peacefully. Yesterday, we were told that some of your members were invited by the police. Was it an invitation? Was it an arrest? Can you clarify?
Oh, it was an arrest, and they were put into cells. And it was a very wrong decision that the police commander did. And they will live to regret.
Why do you say it is a... hold on, Doc. The police is doing its job. You say what they did was wrong. Why do you say so?
Please, I will come to that. But before then, let me respond to some of the things that he said. At least he can insult us and all that, because the police will jump into their support.
No. Hello, Dr. Bain. Dr. Bain. Hello, Dr. Bain. Can you hear me?
I told you that...
Dr. Bain, can you hear me? Hi. Hello, Dr. Bain. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Can we take this one after the other? So first of all, you say that let's deal with the arrest. We'll come back to the comments he makes, and then you will give your response to that.
No,
first of all,
I might lose my thought.
You might forget. Okay, so you want to respond to the thing about the ECOWAS courts?
I was peddling on truth about they're losing out of the ECOWAS court. And he said, and he related it to Nana Akufo-Addo's meeting with their president. This thing did not even happen in the present government. It happened during an attempted time. And they lost. And it was in the news. Let's go Daily Graphic anywhere. You can Google search and all that. They lost.
We'll check with that, but let's make progress on this particular case. Back to the police.
To the police.
Yeah.
What they did was wrong.
Why?
Because what law did they come to use to arrest somebody? That people have come to tell you that we made a press conference and then gave a caution that those who are not legitimately registered to be with us, the law is on our side, and that we don't want them in our place, because we've sent evidence to the police and all that. When they did that press conference, you know, they did this press conference in solidarity with what has happened in Swami. Abosoka people have done that and also issued an ultimatum of 2 weeks. So the electrical people have also done that. And then the following day, they have gone to make a report to the police. They came and arrest the leader, one lady, and put herself. And then some of the leadership went there, the national leadership went there to explain issues to the police, and then they were put to back. And then because of these people there, the influence that they might have gotten on our police, the police had the guts to put the bus of the camp and keep the rest.
So, Doc, I need to come in here again. And hello, Doc, hello.
Yes.
I need to come in here again because, again, you're also making an allegation that we cannot independently verify at this moment. You're saying that they arrested your members. They arrested your members. What charges were leveled against them?
Ask the police. They don't have any charges. I think by now they will be caught. And now we are calling on the IGP to call on them. Otherwise, because yesterday they have realized, and at that time I was with the I don't know whether to mention, but I was with the big man, and then he called on the police to release them. If they had detained them for more than 1 hour, people were marching out from Okai, the electrical people have already marched up to their gates and all that. And so if it is not wrong decision, a crisis is a situation like this, for you to clamp down on the leadership of Guta, no mean association than Guta. And then the police have made a mistake. And then they've drawn the line that they are for the foreigners, and they are not even for the law.
Do the arrest of your members yesterday have anything to do with what happened in Opera Square today?
Yes, that is yesterday. Because that happened yesterday. Today's incident, I don't know, I'm not being brief, but maybe I'll get it. But these people, they can make stories. You know, the man who wrote Biokoko, very beautiful story. They can make these stories.
No, well, Doc, if you say this is the reports that our reporter was on the ground.
I have not been informed.
Okay, so very well. So that's different. So if you say you have not been informed, and so you cannot comment on it, that's okay. But when you dispute their story without necessarily giving us your story, that's also
not okay. So many beautiful stories to you. Sometimes
very well. Doc, I'm just going to find out from you how you think we can move on from where we are, because we've been having this conversation for more than 30 minutes as I speak. But what is the way forward? How do we move forward from here, from your perspective as Guta?
I believe ECOWAS have to be sincere, to tell the truth. I believe we have to have stakeholders engagement with ECOWAS itself, all of us included. I believe that all the nations should come up and say that now we've gone beyond the rhetoric of free movement and all that, and that now we want to fuse up, to be intertwined as one nation, as the United States is, and that we can stay in our places. Let them have the boldness to ratify that the residency, so that one country might not migrate into another country abusing the laws. So if the laws are come, let me tell you, everyone has failed in so many areas. You know the African Trade Continental System that we are all signing. West Africa economy is a subset of Africa. And then instead of the bloc, ECOWAS bloc, which is the economic bloc, thinking and doing things all together, Nigeria blew the way they didn't sign and ratify the law. That's what Nigeria is doing. And so it doesn't make any relevance of ECOWAS.
So as far as
I say that we should have it like the Brexit happened, because it's not happening as one country is using it as strength.
Right. That's like a different conversation that perhaps we can have another time. But hang on for me. Let me take also from the perspective. So as far as you're concerned, until the free movement bit of the ECOWAS treaty is ratified, we won't really move on from the residency. Until that happens, we will not really move on. Until that happens, we will not really move on from here.
Yes, sir?
You say until, so from your, I'm trying to summarize what you said, that until the ratification of that free movement, complete or total free movement for both or all the countries in where ECOWAS happened, we will not move on from where we are.
No, we can't move a step. Okay, because it can't be for government to absorb, for Ghana to absorb. Where others are releasing and then repatriating other citizens, like Nigerian government did 2 weeks ago.
Okay, hang on for me, Doc. Hang on for me, Doc. I'll come for your final words. But so this sounds like what you said earlier, Secretary General, about the laws and how the laws seem there seems to be some kind of overlap there in the law, which seems to be creating the problem. I didn't still get it really clearly what the difference is and how you indicated that Ghana is a sovereign country and how our sovereign laws will not override what happens in ECOWAS. But moving on, how from your perspective can we move on from where we are, which is really not good for any of the countries?
Please, can you let me just take 1 minute and say something about this, what Doc have said about repatriation of 4 Ghanaian nationals. It is true that Nigeria repatriated 4 Ghanaians, and we didn't even make noise about it. And Nigeria did that, and he has not gone to find out those 4. Why did they bring them? In last year and this year, Ghana government has repatriated almost 700, close to 800 Nigerians.
I don't have facts on.
No, it is our ambassador.
I'm just saying.
Is a documented.
Hold on. I have a responsibility to my viewers.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, I don't have facts on what Doc has said about the 4 repatriated. I don't have facts about what you have said. I'm just saying it for my viewers to know. So go on.
You see, what I have said, our ambassador here, our High Commissioner here, has made it. He made a release of it. He made a protest to the Minister of Foreign Affairs here, and they know it is a full fact. It's not, we are not just, but we have not made noise about it. We are not even there because if somebody infract on immigration law, why not? That is what the ECOWAS law says. We are not against that. If somebody from Nigeria comes here and infract on the immigration and the immigration pounds on the person, you can only plead for the person. You cannot say, oh, Ghana government should not do. Right. But what we're saying in this trade issue that you are saying, the only thing I want us to do
moving
is
forward.
Moving forward. Yeah. You know, last year when I was with Mr. B, Dr. B, I was calling him my brother. What we are doing is that, what we are saying on our own part is that we should treat one another with some level of respect. Look at how he's calling. He said, these people, these people, these people. Is that how to address another human being? These people, these people. And he's a doctor. He said, this respect we are talking about is that there are thousands of Ghanaians in Nigeria doing the same type of business we are doing here. Even when you go to Nigeria, I have in my gadget here interviews that was conducted in Warri, in Rivers State, Paracourt, some in Kaduna, some in Niger State, some in Abuja, and then Lagos.
You're not moving us forward.
We have them, but we are not trying to retaliate and say, oh, these people, they don't have, they shouldn't trade under ECOWAS. What he's saying is that we cannot move forward. He said it himself. That we
so this is not, that's not what he said. What he said, which I tried to summarize, was that until we ratify these overlaps, which you mentioned earlier.
Am I the government that will ratify?
No, hold on. So what Doctor said, which I tried to summarize, is that until we, both countries, this is my understanding, that until we, both countries and in ECOWAS, sort out this, what seems to be an overlap in the law and in the treaty that we have signed, we will not be able to move on. I want to find out your perspective on that. What do you think we can do that will move us forward?
I agree that the government of Ghana and Nigeria should sit down and at least find a level ground on this issue. Even if other ECOWAS could not agree on ECOWAS protocol, I believe Nigeria and Ghana are so close that they can find a common place, I mean, to settle this issue. Even if it is the ratification, they can do it. These are the 2 biggest economies in West Africa. But now, what Guta is doing sometimes in against that spirit of brotherhood. Okay. Because you see, let me tell you, with all modesty, with all due respect, I think Nigerian government has been very, very close to Ghana government in so many respects. We have been brothers to Ghana government. He doesn't talk about the things that we as a government, as a nation, have done. When we see our brother having issue, Nigerians always come out, even with our difficulties. But Guta, I don't know what is their problem. If anybody has a problem, it is Nigerian traders. If your business, you come today, you didn't sell, it is Nigerian traders who are not up
no,
to
I don't think
0.5%.
I don't think that's also a fair statement to make. I think that there are real issues here that need to be dealt with. He's laid out his issues. You have laid out your issues. I don't think when you begin to say when a Ghanaian doesn't sell, he blames it on the Nigerian. That's oversimplification of the matter, and that's trivializing it, which doesn't help the conversation. Your perspective, Mr. Naji, on how we move on from where we are, which is a very bad place for both of us.
Okay, let me just have a basic infrastructure here before we move. For instance, where he stopped, we have moved on from there. The last place ECOWAS integration is now is the area of biometric.
Okay.
We have dealt with the abolition of visas. We have dealt with the free movement of people and goods. We have dealt with residence and establishment, which is the burden of contention, where he's making his point from. We have finished that. We dealt with external tariff.
When you say that is a bone of contention, exactly what
they are talking about Nigerians don't have right to trade in Ghana. That is residence and the right of establishment. The ECOWAS have finished it in 1990 because this was signed in 1975.
But it is a bone of contention because there is a local law that should override that particular part of the law.
I'm surprised to the journalists sometimes when you say the local law. When His Excellency took office, every president of Ghana took office. He is taking office to defend the law of Ghana and its treaty. When they say that, well, how do you understand it? He said he's sworn an oath to defend the law of Ghana and its treaty. The treaty of every country
the
is... The
law of Ghana is always supreme when it comes to that.
I don't have time because you caught me now. Whatever supreme, we can finish that after the show.
When you say you don't have time, I don't understand.
Because you caught me, I want to make my point.
Yes, I'm telling you that I have a responsibility. Please. Hold on. I'm telling you that I have a responsibility to my viewers. I need to come in every now and then when I need to make a clarification. Okay. So go on with your point.
No problem. My point is that we have finished with the external tariff. We are now at the biometric. Okay. When I say biometric, it means that ECOWAS have proposed that we should abolish passport and use biometric card, ID card. So that if I'm in Ghana, you are in Nigeria, if anybody stops, you can just show. You get to the border, you just slot it in and they pick it. Okay. You're Ghanaian, you are going. That will abolish resident permit. But now, the level of compliance may be a problem. We have not gotten at that point. Everything, we're taking it gradual by gradual, but I think the Guta is taking us backwards. So the way forward is that let the government come in and make sure that they establish with Guta the real truth of the ECOWAS protocol. I have said it in your sister stations, and I said this. Ghana knows too well, and they believe that being a member of ECOWAS is the best for the country. Dr. Bin and his group is attacking Nigerians. That is taking law into their own hand, and it's a criminal act. I think we should tell them that. There's no law in Ghana that gives you power to go and start locking people or brutalizing them.
I think I've said that over and over again.
Yeah, you have said it. And I have to also emphasize on it.
No problem. So moving forward, what from your perspective is a way to move forward?
But I don't think we have to talk about it now. I think what we should be talking about, how will I and Mr. Dr. Bin meet and discuss if there's a problem?
Okay.
If they wanted to...
They want to have a meeting. If they want to have a meeting.
We are ready to have a meeting.
Dr. Bin, Dr. Bin, here is a proposal for you to meet, for leaders of these two groups to meet and have an amicable solution to this problem. How is that?
In fact, they are all our friends. These people that I said was not in negative, so I apologize for the use of it.
Okay, he's apologized. Apology accepted. Doc, they said apology accepted. They said apology accepted.
Okay, I thank them.
So is this meeting...
When they use the words like criminals and all that, it does not help. Because it is through these provocative things. Sometimes even when the police have gone to open the shops, they tend to root the Ghanaians and laugh at them.
Okay. It's a lie.
Okay, so let's Doc. Hello, Doc.
Have to do.
Hi, Doc. I'll spend close to 1 hour on this story. That's a lot of money, but that's our commitment to helping solve this problem. I just want to find out from you whether this meeting can happen that they're asking for, whether it can happen. And
okay, first of all, they admitted that every country has the right to work on its immigration laws, and that's where we meet. Okay. And when we also accept the fact that we have immigration laws to respect, then we are coming a long way.
So now back to the meeting, because I really ran out of time.
The way forward.
Yes, back to the meeting, whether or not this meeting can happen and when.
They are not our enemies. We can always meet, but we should know how to treat ourselves. Like they criminalize us. If you criminalize us in national TV, we'll come here. I won't come.
Okay, I think that point you have made it. I think that point has been well made.
If you looked, we are attacking the issues. We are attacking our state institutions. We have never attacked any person.
Doc, we need to really move on, and I'm really out of time right now. I need to end this conversation right now. Do you want to comment on the meeting that they've called for? You can talk about it backstage if you want to, but if you want to comment on it right now, please.
We have areas that we can all work together, and that is to attack ECOWAS Commission for their responsibilities of even letting everybody know the confines. They have responsibility that they ensure that a country like Nigeria should not use any advantage over the little ones. That when we form the UTLS, and then we said that we should export everything, they will come and boldly say, and then you expect me.
Okay.
Ghana will not be like that. We are not that weakling as they see us.
I've run out of time at this point, but I'm really trusting that you can make this meeting happen between the two leadership of GUTA and NUTAG, so that you can thrash this out amicably, and hopefully we can all move on with our lives, both countries and those who are here. Right. Thank you very much, Doc, for your time and for joining in the conversation. Dr. Joseph for being there. He's a president of GUTA, Ghana Association of Ghana Union of Traders Association, and also I'm here with the leadership of the Nigerian Union of Traders Association, Chief Chukwemeka Naji, who is the president of the group, and Comrade Evaristus Nwako is the Secretary General of the group, who is not new to the show at all. You're welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming.
So much.
And we really hope that both sides can sit down and have a conversation, and we can move on both countries.
We're ever ready anytime they call on us.
Very well. Thank you for coming.
I've been to them before, but we didn't get any reply.
All right. So we've been talking about the issues with GUTAG, NUTAG. It's all about trading. Nigerian Ghanaians here in Ghana. Hopefully we'll move on from where we are at the moment, which is very, very disturbing.